What's going on, Tamers? Welcome to DigiPod, the digital podcast. I'm your boy Varney. Before I introduce my co-host, let me just say, ooh, ooh, ooh. Fly Eagles fly, baby. Let's go. Chiefs fans. Ah. Anyways, I'm here with my co-host, Mike and Dan. What's going on, y'all?
Bro, that's past news already. It's over. We don't care about it.
Yeah, we don't care about that. By the time this pod comes out, bro, it's gonna be like 2 weeks after. They just
That's a fact. This is coming out next Friday.
Right.
Yeah,
Legitimately is almost 2 weeks. Yeah. I should have. You know what I should have done? I should have done this last week. Because if I did this last week and we won, I'd have looked like a psychic.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been so much better.
But if I was wrong, I'd have looked like your average Eagles fan. So
right, had that drop like on a Monday, but like, yeah, we won.
Oh man. What if I had predicted a Cooper DeJean pick 6 while wearing the Cooper DeJean jersey last week on pod? That would have been
crazy.
Insanity,
that's
right?
my Jackie Robinson, brother.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy sounding.
He's breaking the color barrier, man.
Oh my goodness, that's funny as all shit.
That's a position they don't let white people play anymore, man. In another life, I'm a white cornerback, you know? Because of Cooper DeJean, bro. I'm just saying. That's breaking the color barrier. It's important
Mike,
stuff.
between you and me, brother, you're more fit to be a fullback. All right, let's be real.
Probably.
And you're a lineman.
Varney's definitely a lineman.
Listen,
yeah.
They put me, so story time. You want Digimon, there'll be at some point, editor, throw it here that they can skip ahead to. But y'all come here for the bullshit. So here's the bullshit. So I have always loved football. I grew up an Eagles fan. My dad loved football. Therefore, I love football, right? When I started high school, I went into the freshman football team because I was like, hey, Mike, you got to switch your mic. But I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to play football. So I joined and I didn't know anything about like playing the sport. So I was like, yeah, just put me wherever you want. Now, mind you, like, sure, I'm big. I'm like big now. So in high school as a freshman, I decided to play football, but I knew nothing about any of the positions. So I said, coach, just put me where you want to put me. Now I'm big now, right? I'm not like overly big, but I'm like much bigger than I was back then. I'm like 6 foot, 270 pounds now, 260, 270. Back then,
You used to be skinny, Varney.
I was super skinny, bro. I was like maybe 5, I don't know, 8, 5, 9. And I was a paltry, probably like 180. No, maybe a little bit more, like 200 pounds or something. I don't know. I never weighed myself. I wouldn't know. But imagine like me slimmed down AF and I was playing offensive and defensive line. And like that probably wouldn't be a bad thing as freshmen until you consider the fact that I played with 2 guys who were also freshmen that were legitimately 6'3" and definitely weighed about 240 pounds. So when I tell you, well, first of all, I mean, in what world do you not start them on both O-line and D-line, which they did, of course. But in practice, they're like, all right, you're up against Mark. And I'm like, I'm up against who? I gotta be the practice dummy for him? Little scrawny on me. Let me tell you a story. This one time we were playing against the school. If you're from the area, you'll know it. It's Freedom High School. Quarterback snapped the ball. He took off. Quarterback's running around the field. Our defense is getting run from the left side of the field to the right side of the field, back to the left side of the field because they can't tackle this man, right? All the while, I'm stuck on my O-line. I was playing D-line. And the O-lineman had his hand on my chest like this. And I'm like, I'm doing all the moves they taught me. I'm trying to swipe them up. I'm trying to push it away. Nope, wasn't working. I stood there like that for the whole play. On tape, coach was like, who the fuck is number 77? And I was like,
damn, you got Luka Doncic's number? Damn, disrespect. Crazy.
He's a lineman. Of course he had the high-ass numbers.
I was like,
I guess it doesn't matter now. They changed that. You can just
they did.
Fucking number you want.
Did they really?
It's so confusing. Yeah, you don't have to. It's stupid.
Anyways, number 77 out here getting bullied around like a bitch. He damn sure called my ass out on it in tape review. and that will always live with me. And I hated playing O-line and D-line. And I have the utmost respect for the people that do, but me myself, next year I was gonna play fucking linebacker because I was like, I'm not getting bitched around like that again. You got me fucked up.
I had a very, very similar story in that sense. They were trying to put me on line. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be this. Just throw me the ball. I got this. They're like, well, you're like 5'9", you know, stocky. Mind you, I'm like athletically built, so like I could jump high. I can run. I can run decently fast for my size at that point. And I kid you not, I purposely did this on purpose. I was like, you want me to guard that dude? That dude is a legitimate defensive lineman that's in college. You want me to guard this man? They're like, yeah, just stay in front of him and just make sure he don't come hit me. This is the QB talking to me. I was like, I bet. I touched him once. I was like, I'm not doing this again. I purposely ducked out of the way. I was like, I ain't doing this. QB gets hit, right? He gets mad as fuck, right? And so I'm like, yo, I'm not guarding that man. But do you see me? Do you see him? It ain't happening. They're like, I'm like, yo, throw me the ball. I got you. They're like, all right, play tight end. I was like, what's tight end? At that point, like, I don't know anything football, like terms or anything. They're like, you're on the line. So sometimes you block, but like sometimes you catch. I was like, I bet. So like, where do I run? They're like, yo, do like a slant route. I'm like, all right, cool. I do that. I get him, throw me the ball, touchdown. And they're like, oh, I was like, put me at wide receiver. Don't put me anywhere else. or if you're going to give me the ball, let me be running back. I could do that too. I can't do anything that's in the line of guarding people. No. I don't play defense either. My defense was legitimate. Like, I'll play safety and I'll watch the QB and try to intercept it. That's all I did. If I had to tackle someone, I could tackle someone, but like, I didn't want to get hit. Because I'm a basketball player at heart, so I'm not really trying to get hit.
You said I'm a pussy.
even because I knew I have friends who get cracked. I'm like, I'm not about that life. I'm not about that life. And stuff like that. So like I was like, nope, ain't it happening. The moment someone tried to catch me, if I couldn't juke them out of their feet, out of their shoes, or stiff arm them, I was running out of bounds. I was like, damn, I couldn't hit with the two moves. I couldn't hit them with the you know what I'm saying? And they were like, sometimes I'll catch it, and then, you know, I'll get going, spin move, something. But like the moment I had to get touched, I'm like, fuck, let me just go down. I ain't even gonna bother. If I'm not going 60 yards, I'm done. 10 yards, I'm done.
That's the Tyler Lockett special. You gotta go down before contact, bro.
Hell yeah. I was not trying to like risk my basketball career at all just to play football. You know what I'm saying?
Mike, I never knew Dan was a certified bitch. I never knew he didn't like taking hits like that.
How did you never know that, bro? What do you mean? How long have you known this guy for now?
Not long enough to know he didn't like taking tackles.
Hell no. That shit was mad annoying. And the thing is, like, it's not like I hated it, but like I just preferred not to hit because I didn't want to get injured. That was my issue. Like, all right, I got no problem with someone like, you know, hugs me up and puts me down or something, but like to like get cracked, I was never trying to get that. Like,
you want the Jalen Carter special. You want the Jalen Carter sack.
Yeah. Like if I wasn't stiff arming you or doing something where I could get out of the way, I would hurt you, no problem. If I could run you over, I would do it in a heartbeat. But man, if I had to get touched up, nah, I wasn't doing. I was not about it.
Oh my Lord. So that's why Dan and we never made it to the NFL because you know, Dan didn't like being hit. And
but best believe I never dropped the ball though. Like if that ball got anywhere in my vicinity, I had the hands to catch it though.
He said I had the hands of Megatron. I had the size at the time of Megatron for high school.
No size of Megatron.
No, Megatron's what, like 6'7", right? 6'3"?
He's like 6'4".
Crazy, bro.
I know that man is big.
Yeah, you Megatron was huge.
I couldn't come up with another comparison. Maybe AJ Brown.
You're fucking
maybe AJ Brown.
Prior to us like getting into like actual topic, I just want to say real quick, shout out to all the people that commented on the 2024 video of Dan's 2024, whatever it was, and just appreciate the love and all that good stuff. Also, I got I'm not gonna say the names, but like some people like reached out, DM'd me, and they were like, "Yo, I appreciate the words of stuff. I just want like you're welcome. Just stuff like that. Thank you, appreciate it."
Dan appreciates it. If you guys didn't know.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. That video did enormously well. A paltry 271 views, but an enormous 31 likes. And I say paltry only because it's, as a creator, when you're looking at the numbers, it's crazy to see the relationship between likes and views because they don't really correlate with one another. For example, our content creator podcast is sitting at 34 likes, which is amazing. But our pre-fest meta, basically the podcast that we did live in person, was a paltry 18 likes. But then our premiere podcast when we came back was a whole 43 likes. So I know it's like not everybody like remembers to like. I don't ever remember to like any of my YouTube videos, but I only do it now so that I can tailor my recommendations because I absolutely hate when I'm getting recommended shit that has nothing to do with my interest at the moment. So like if I watch something I like, I actually like the video so I can try to get more videos like it. If you guys do like this video, forget to like. And also comment. Comment helps engagement too. I know a lot of you guys love the comments. That's great. We had 57 comments total on that content creator pod, which is great. The one with Dan Vang is going up this week as we're recording this coming Friday. So I'm excited to see what y'all have to say and think about that. But yeah.
That's basically that episode part 2.
It really is. I mean, there was just so much more to talk about in that content creator video we did. So like, yeah, that was in total like a 4-hour pod because there was just so much to talk about.
Unfortunately, I was in California.
How was California, Mike?
Oh my god! I mean, I love California. Beautiful state. Fucking love being out there. It's gorgeous. It's the worst traffic in the.
Did it smell like burnt
world.
food out there? Sorry,
No.
It would have been burnt trees.
Burnt trees.
No. It's just the worst traffic ever. Though it's such like a densely populated. The state is huge.
Yeah,
which is crazy because the state's so big, but it's still so densely populated. It's fucking crazy. I mean, I think it took me 3 hours to go 40 miles one day. I was losing my mind. It was like 45 miles, 3 hours. Yeah, fucking sucks. So, but
I have coworkers that are in California. I found out that I'm going to be working. With.
Remotely, or there's just another office in California?
Yeah, there's office all over the world. So my team consists of Spain, California.
Yeah,
some other places in the US. I was like, this is wild.
Get out of here, bro. Go to Spain. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here. All right, no, it's fine.
Anyways,
let me chill. Locals. Tell us about it, Dan.
What's locals? I don't know what locals
are. Because of the football?
I went, you know what? Let me tell a quick story real quick. I tried to go to a locals the other day and I asked the person, said, hey, do you guys do like locals here? And they said, what are locals? I said, yeah, like
crazy.
That's
like
crazy work.
Tournaments like LGS, like locals, and they're like, oh,
we just sell cards. What are you talking about,
bro? He looked at me. I was like,
so
like,
wait, Mike, what do they sell? Like, do they sell like
everything.
trading cards?
They sell baseball cards. They sell Magic. They sell One Piece. They sell One Piece. They sell Digimon. They sell UA. They sell Pokemon. And they sell Yu-Gi-Oh! And I guess they only have.
That's so weird.
They didn't even know what locals meant, but they had store tournaments for Star Wars and Flesh and Blood, and then they're working on Magic Nights and Bandai games.
I just say because they were originally a
pause.
They might have been originally a sports card shop.
That's what I was gonna say, but no. Because if you have Star Wars tournaments and Magic and Flesh and Blood. Do you not know what locals are?
I don't know. Well, it's weird because like I mean every other store I've ever been to in the entire world, if you said, hey, do you guys have locals, and they held tournaments, they'd be like, yeah, we do locals on this night, we do whatever.
Right.
But they were like he looked at me and then looked at a guy that plays Magic there. And the guy that plays Magic there was like, what's the locals? And I was like, are you guys fucking
Are you
fucking with me right now?
Am I in prank?
I thought I said something wrong. I was like, locals. Like, is that wrong to say? Like, but I was like, no, everyone calls it locals. I've literally, every fucking game store I've ever been to calls it locals. I've never fucking, like, my entire life.
Pat, do you know your local game stores
lingo
ornaments as locals, or do you call it something else? I mean, just the fact that I had to call it a local game store, like,
yeah, just weird. I mean, it's a local game store. Like, I'm not gonna call it a store tournament. That's something different. You know, like store tournaments are different than a locals tournament. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. But yeah, so that's been my experience lately. I'm just fucking getting fucked left and right.
Well, we have you got fucked because topic for Gundam podcast, but this man's went to Gundam events and the stores told him, slap dick, buddy. Like, straight up. They told him, we sold your spot.
Yeah. I didn't even want to.
Insanity. Yeah. But that's for Gundam pod.
Yeah. It's crazy shit.
As Mike says, as the young kids say, I would have crashed out.
I've been, it's crazy because it's like, man, I'm trying to like stay involved in card games, like I'm trying to keep playing Digimon. I'm trying to keep playing One Piece. I'm trying to keep playing these like games. And it's like, dude, I'm getting fucking cock blocked by the region I live in, I guess.
Yeah, that's
like, I can't even, the last time I played Digimon in person with someone, in the summer, maybe, bro. I literally, like, I can't even play Digimon in person with people anymore. That's how crazy that is.
Crazy work.
Yeah, it sucks. It is what it is. Still playing on the sim. Still fucking. I play webcam matches with some of my homies, on Discord and shit. But yeah, just nuts, man. I'm dying. If you've ever wondered why, like, I know sometimes I think there was a comment the other day, like, oh, Mike didn't talk much this pod, but I have nothing to talk about anymore. I'm hanging on by a thread, guys. I'm trying to keep up with in what's happening with the game state, but the best I have to know what's going on is playing shitters on the fucking sim. No offense to people that play on the sim, but you guys fucking suck. So I don't know what the fuck's even meta anymore. I'm fucking over here playing fucking Machine Dramon tribal basically at this point because I've run out of other fun things to play. I don't even know what the fuck's happening in real Digimon world anymore. I have no fucking clue. I'm just isolated. I'm on an island. It's fucking crazy awful. Dan, you were gonna say about locals, Super Bowl Sunday. Must be fucking nice, Dan. sorry. Calm down.
Nah, it's not gonna happen. Anyways, Super Bowl. So no one really showed up. It was 4 people, 3 rounds technically.
How did that happen? 4 rounds, 3 people.
They decided to keep it 3 rounds. They voted for it. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to win. Anyways, I played Digimon. And I played against Red Hybrid, Ancient Gray. Red Hybrid won that 2-0.
Ooh, look at you. Okay.
Digimon did Digimon things. I had a bunch of tokens and they all had rush and I just popped off.
Oh, he said I out aggroed the aggro.
Yeah, he literally put me to 0 security. I was like, if you have Omni for game, you win. He was like, nah, I don't have it. I was like, all right, cool. Next turn, popped out like 5, 6 tokens or whatever it was. And then just won for game. Round 2, game 2, I think it was like the same thing. No, game 2 was the one with the Omni. Game 1, he misplayed, he didn't set up correctly. I think it was for the Ancient Gray shenanigans, something like that. And I also misplayed because I knew he was gonna go to the Ancient Gray, and my play, the correct play should have been play the Warper Caramon. When your opponent evos to a low 5 or higher, you evo into Infamon. Because he was playing the old school Ancient Gray that didn't pop. So the correct play would have been play that. When he goes into his Ancient Gray plays, I evo to Infamon, affect Infamon, pop a token, affect evo to Digibora Ace, pop his Ancient Gray. I didn't do that, but he didn't set up correctly or something like that. So I ended up getting the W at next turn. And then round 2, I played against Gino. He played Rocks Pyramidi. From my understanding, Pyramidi can't do anything against DigiGuard. Basically, it struggles against it. And Digimon can't do that with ease. So I ended up taking that one 2-0. I had a pretty cool turn on one turn. So I had a Informon plus Diabor Ace in my hand, and I had one stack of Diabormon that had Rush. So I had like 2 tokens. This was like for game. I didn't realize I was gonna go for game until like I started just swinging. So I had 2 tokens. Swing with both of them. They both live. Evo into the Informon effect. Pop a token. Evo into Diabormon. Pop a new token. That token has Rush. Swing with the Ace. Ace has Rush. Ace swings. Pops another creates another token. That token has Rush now because of the Diabor, because the other Diabor stack plus jamming. Swing, and then swing with that Diabormon. And I think I had like Armageddon for game too if I needed it. It ended up just being like a cool combo that I didn't realize I was gonna be able to do until like midway per game. And that went from 5-0 instantly. It was crazy. And another game 2, I think I ended up winning because Armageddon, the newer one that pops 15k.
Oh, you play that?
Yeah, it's low key kind of good.
Okay.
You play. It's a 1-1 split because that one lets you pop things, but he's also Rush. He also has reboots, I believe, and then he has blocker.
Rush reboot blocker, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like super strong. Like if you're able to pop it out early, if you needed to, great. That body's probably sticking, honestly. If not, then you can go for game. And then you also have OG Armageddon, that's just your gamer, basically. You know?
Right.
And then round 3 did not happen for me, but everybody else had round 3. Ophido was like, I'm not playing against Dan. That's basically what happened.
What? Oh man, never mind. You don't even have to go into it.
I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
Yeah.
Dan is such a menace to this man. In Digimon terms, it's really just in Digimon terms. But Dan's game face when he's gaming, like.
But like, I'm not even like playing anything like Diabormon at this point is not like anything crazy. Do I think it could be potentially crazy? Yes, but that's just me coping probably.
Absolutely, you coping 1000%.
Hey, Diabor X comes out whenever that happens in like 5 years because they refuse to give us Diabor X. It seems like when they had the perfect set for BT20 named Chronicles X, they don't give us Diabormon X.
No,
I digress.
It's over the cross. You're saying it wrong.
Whatever. It's based on Chronicles. All right, it's based on Chronicles.
It's over the cross according to Varney, though, bro.
It's based on the. I'm saying the set is based on Chronicles, and that was the perfect set for it to be Diabor X, and they refused to give it to us. But anyways, I digress.
No, actually,
yeah.
no.
So
Hold
I ended
on.
up taking
Pause,
the
real quick. So yes, it is based on Chronicles, but it's only based on Chronicles, not Chronicles X. And I still can't find the original manga to Chronicles to read. I can only find the stuff for Chronicle X because it is 2 separate things. So it's entirely possible to get another
Gino,
set
bro. I'm sure
referring
he's got
to
that shit.
Chronicle X.
Gino has it. He read it.
You're right.
Yeah,
I should.
absolutely.
You're right. I should.
He'll give you that shit.
If you guys need to find any Digimon media, first of all, actually, real quick, because I have nothing to talk about for locals, let me shout out DG Gino real quick. This man's just did a tier list video with Dan that is going up next week. So by the time you guys are seeing this, I think it should already be up. Where they ranked every Digimon game. And that's because Gino actually sat down, and when I say 100%, I mean he played the game story to 100%. He 100%ed every Digimon game that he could get access to, that was translated, that he could read. It's insanity. I didn't realize how many
Gino's
Digimon games there were, but when I saw the tier list, I was like, God damn.
He didn't.
Good.
For the record, what he did was he goes to the regular playthrough. He doesn't 100% it until he goes back and plays them again.
Yeah,
for 100%. Like
that's what I mean.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He 100%ed the storyline, not the game itself. But man, I was like, let me tell you something about Gino you didn't know. Gino is a moderator, or potentially an ad. Might be an ad. I don't remember. But he's a big figure in a retro gaming Discord, and he has a YouTube channel. You can go check it out. It's called I'm pretty sure it's called Cyberfile, and he does videos and cool things about like retro games. So that's pretty much his thing. Like he does retro gaming. He's all involved in retro gaming. Last month, it was last month, they were doing like a vote for the month, and Digimon World 3 was one of the votes that was up there. It's cool stuff. Speaking of, y'all know the Digimon World 3 GOG campaign has like 20,000 votes now. I don't know if you know what that is, Dan.
I learned from Gino the other day.
Yeah, let me see what it's at right now. It was at a lot. And like GOG came out and made or GOG, whatever the fuck you want to call them. They came out with a Twitter post and they were like, yeah, like the fact that you guys are out here voting for this is crazy. This is why we do what we do, so to say. But as a Digimon fan, it's cool to see that, because it's like, oh man, look at all of the Digimon fans. And this is why at the end of the day, we got some big news to talk about, and I forgot as I'm saying. Battle Spirits is dead. We already knew that, but Battle Spirits is officially dead.
Yeah, I forgot. Did you guys talk about that last week?
No, that happened after Pods.
Yeah,
topic for today.
Shit.
Yep,
I forgot. That game died. I mean, is it? All right,
it's perfect. No, this is perfect.
Let's take a step back. Is anyone surprised?
Before we get there, let's put the brakes on that real quick. Let me finish up what I was saying. Just big shout outs to DigiGuard. He is the one who brings you the digi-know and the Digi Spotlight as YouTube shorts. I would love to get them on TikTok, but uploading that stuff on TikTok is actually a pain in the ass. So I apologize to our TikTok audience, because we have a actually big TikTok audience, which is kind of crazy. I will find a way to get it on there for you guys. But right now, you can find it as YouTube shorts. The idea is to have a short every week. We have Digi-knows come out on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Digi Spotlights come out on a Tuesday and Thursday. So you can always have some Digimon content in your doom scrolling feed. So cool stuff there. We appreciate Gino and everything that he does. You can check out the video where we actually ranked every Digimon. And I had to say it in that way, because if you're a Digimon gamer, you know. That's it. Moving on. Before main topic, the last thing. Sponsor plug. We are sponsored. We're not sponsored, but let's call it a sponsor, because it sounds better. It sounds better, right? DuelingGuard. We are affiliated with DuelingGuard, if you haven't heard. And if you haven't heard of DuelingGuard, you should go check their products out, because they make some really good looking, cool shit. The story about how we became affiliates with DuelingGuard
High quality.
Is because I went looking for a new TCG bag, because I have one they're called Pirate Lab. It's a great bag, but I want something that isn't so big, because I'm toning down. That was when I used to carry like a metric ton of decks. Now I'm more content with carrying like 4 to 5 decks, maybe if so much, and like a small binder of trades, because I don't have my big binder anymore either. So I went looking for a new bag. DuelingGuard has a TCG bag. What do you know? So I'm looking at this bag. I'm like, oh, this bag's really nice. So I was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, if I'm going to buy this, I guess let me reach out and see if they have any sort of like, sponsorship or some sort of content creator program or anything of the sorts. Turns out they did, affiliates. So we applied, got accepted. And now if you go to checkout and use code DigiGuard, you get 5% off your order, which is phenomenal, because none of our other affiliates give you any sort of discount. So big props and shout out to DuelingGuard for that, giving you guys 5% off. And then we get a kickback from your purchase. So it's a win-win for you and for us. So shop DuelingGuard with code DigiGuard. DuelingGuard with code DigiGuard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, they sell all sorts of cool shit too. So not only is it like deck boxes and stuff, but if you guys play One Piece Union Arena, they actually sell custom art cards, which are fucking awesome. They're fucking gorgeous, honestly. Like super high quality stuff too. Like it's no joke. If you have been in the TCG space for a while, then you have definitely heard of Dueling Guard. You've seen their deck boxes at tournaments. You've seen their binders at tournaments, I'm sure. Their play mats. They do it all, and it is amazing, all of it.
Yeah, so this is the Luffy various gears deck box. They have an absolutely phenomenal looking
Yeah,
let's call it the One Piece
deck
Girls deck box. Do you want it? Here, you have it.
Yeah.
I really don't use that off. We'll talk after pod.
I'll buy that from you. Yeah.
All right, yeah. After pod, we'll talk. But I love Dueling Guard deck boxes because they just the artwork alone and the quality. No, this quality
amazing
is so insane. This is like a solid, like leather. Oh my gosh, I can't get the camera to focus. It's so good looking though. There we go. Like it's a legit quality leather. I probably dropped.
Show off the embroidered leather on the front real quick for them.
Yeah.
Like, there it is. That. Yeah, that shit's so fire, man.
Yeah, Dueling Guard deck boxes are awesome. They have this insane looking One Piece Girls one with I think it's Nico Robin, Nami, and probably Boba Hancock. But unfortunately, I couldn't get one before the sale sold out. But they have one now for Dandadan.
Yes, sir. That one's fire.
I get my hands on that one. So I'm definitely going to pick that up. I'm definitely going to pick up this TCG bag, and then you guys will probably see a video on it because why not, right? That's it. We're done plugging. Let's get into the main topic. What is our new main topic for the day? Because I'm sure this will take up the entirety of pod, and we can talk about all that other stuff next week. It is official. Battle Spirits Saga is dead. Bandai came out with an announcement last week. The Battle Spirits Saga. But they came out with an announcement last week, and I'll pull it up right here. They basically said, we fucked up and we apologize. No, that's the TLDR. Let me pull up the official statement so I'm not putting words in Bandai's mouth. As soon as my starts to look here.
I have it up if you want me to read it.
Go ahead, read it.
Okay. So, dear summoners, thank you for your continued support of Battle Spirits Saga. We sincerely appreciate the passion and dedication you have shown to the game. It is with great regret we must inform you that Battle Spirits Saga, which launched in April 2023, will be concluding its official development and support as of March 2025. While we made every effort to expand the game through various promotional initiatives and tournaments, including the first ever cash prize supported events in Bandai card game history, current sales performance and market conditions have made continued operations unfeasible. After much deliberation, we have made the difficult decision to end Battle Spirits Saga's official development. We deeply apologize for not being able to meet the expectations of all summoners who have supported the game, as well as the stores and partners who have carried our products. There's also some more that goes along with this. So I'll say, I think it's called the final official event, Summoner's Legacy.
Yep.
Although Battle Spirits Saga development will conclude in March 2025, we will be hosting one final official event, Summoner's Legacy, for a grand send-off. This event on March 29th at the Pasadena Convention Center in Pasadena, California, will feature Battle Spirits Saga's first ever gunslinger format, allowing players to freely challenge one another through the event period. The more victories you achieve, the greater the rewards you'll receive. Players who record 6 wins will earn a spot in the event's final tournament, where top-ranked competitors will be awarded exclusive prizes. We hope summoners will take this opportunity to gather, compete, and enjoy the game once more at this unforgettable event. So before we go and dive into this game dying and why it's dying, I want to just talk about how cool that gunslinger format thing is. That is some fucking that's like some
Battle
City
Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle City stuff,
right, dude. I don't remember that much.
That's so fire.
That for me.
Explain what Battle City?
Well, I don't remember. It's so long ago.
So how this event works is you literally go you show up at this event, sign up or whatever it works, and you literally just pick and choose the people you want to battle. And if you win enough spots, then you move up into the final tournament bracket. So basically, this says you need 6. You need
6 total wins. You said
6 recorded wins will earn a spot in the event's final tournament. So I don't know how many losses you're allowed to have, or if you're not allowed any losses at all, and you just have to go 6-0 to get in. But that's fucking awesome that you can just pull up and be like, "Yo, fuck this guy." Like I'm fucking fighting this
beef
guy.
with
Like,
you
this
all
is like,
year.
This is like
This is
the
it.
ultimate. This is like the ultimate beef tournament, bro. Like oh, like this guy always has fucking shitty takes on podcasts. Fuck that Varney guy. I'm calling him out specifically. Like that is so fucking cool.
That's
we need
fantastic.
events like this, like that aren't just because the game is dead. Like I want a fucking Digimon event where I can go there and I can call out the people I fucking hate in this community to fucking play games with. Like that's so fucking cool.
Yeah,
Like
that's awesome.
it's also just like the ultimate way to talk shit too, because it's like I literally called you out by name and then I just ran your fucking pockets, bitch. Like that's so fire. I love that. But I just want to talk about that before we talk about the game dying, because I think that that's fucking awesome. It is a little weird though, right? Like I can't imagine, like, I guess if you're really into Battle Spirits, like you show up and you have fun still, but I probably would not be wasting my money or time to go to Pasadena, California for a game that's gonna die.
I wouldn't necessarily waste my time going to Pasadena. However, I will say that having witnessed the death of another game, so I got very heavily into Future Card Buddy Fight right at its end of life, like right before they announced end of life. Me and my boy AJ, who's out in California, we got heavy into Buddy Fight. We were going to play it and everything. And then they announced the game was dead and we were kind of like, shit. So, that was tragic, but you'd be surprised at the amount of people who are dedicated to a game. I don't know for Battle Spirits, I really don't. But Buddy Fight has a big community, at least if not here, it's really big in Thailand for sure, and potentially one other country. It's so big to the point that Thailand, I don't know if they like make up their own cards to support the game or something, but they still run tournaments. They still have shit going for it, and they play that card game. And it's to the point that Bushy Road is, I think they're releasing a new Buddy Fight set, not like rebooting it, but they're just like, here, we know the game is defunct, but here's a set with some new cards or something like that. If you know in chat or in comments, please let me know, because correct me if I'm speaking out my ass, but to my knowledge, they're releasing something for basically those Buddy Fight players. So it's not uncommon to, like this game so much that even though it's dying, I'll play it till its dying breath. I'm sure you guys, or at least Dan, would feel the same about Digimon. Like, damn, Digimon's dying, but the final event is in California.
You
know what?
I think it'd be cool to go and see all of your friends that you made while playing the game like one last time, right?
Especially for that, because they had so many in-persons, you probably got to foster that more than any of their other card games except One Piece.
So I know that they obviously cut the cash prize support, but I would have just like used whatever original budget they had and just been like, yeah, come to this fucking tournament, we're giving it away, baby. But it sucks. You hate to see a game die, but I also think Bandai might have been a little over their heads in the American like card market. I understand in Japan, it's easier for them to have all these multiple card games running at once because they have a much different culture than we do.
It really is. It's a different culture and a different, like, especially when we say culture, it's a different economic culture. Like, that's a big thing to consider, that their boxes cost half the amount that ours do. Sure, their hits are halved, but that's a big thing. The fact that players play best of one in almost every game. I don't think there's a Japanese game that is best of three, and if there is, let me know.
Probably Magic only.
Probably, and that's because it's not Japanese native, it's American. So, like, they just have so much more air quote time to play games that you can get away with supporting more than one game as a consumer. You can play 4 or 5 different games because one day you go to the shop and you're playing Digimon for 2 hours, and you go to the next shop and then you're playing some Pokemon, and then you go to the next shop and then you play some fucking Gundam. Like, and that's all in the span of like 6 hours. Meanwhile, we over here, we spend 6 hours at one shop playing just Digimon because we're playing best of 3,
True.
So, like, it's not, I think, I definitely agree. They did get over their head. But I don't blame them. I really don't. I can't blame them for Battle Spirits. It makes sense. It's your IP. You want to try to have something that's yours that you're making all your profits on come back to you. But I remember, I think it's either, I can't remember who it was. Somebody on Twitter posted and I retweeted it. They were like, man, Avril Lavigne really got me to play Battle Spirits or something along those lines. And when I read that, I was like, yeah.
Did we already discuss this? Have you said Avril wrong now multiple times? It's Avril. Who the fuck says Avril Lavigne?
Avril Lavigne, Avril Lavigne, Avril Lavigne, Avril Lavigne. We've definitely went through the same topic on pod.
I vaguely remember we having this argument before.
I have said it, Avril Lavigne, my entire life.
Insane. That's whatever. Topic for a different day.
Back onto the original question from Mike. You asked if we were surprised. Well, for me, the only reason I say surprise is the fact of how hard they pushed in the beginning. Like, obviously we saw, within 6 to 8 months after what happened, like, all right, this is really gonna die eventually. But like, I'm surprised in the early fact of like, all right, they were like, this is it, guys. This is gonna be your #1 competitive card game. We're even putting prize money into it. And they were pushing it so hard that you would think it had to just thrive just in general, right? Just because of, how much they wanted to, I guess, make it work, because it is their own IP. It is not a IP from Toei or a mix of, because I think Toei owns Digimon, or at least the anime rights or something like that.
The anime rights, I'm almost sure that's how it works, yeah.
And Battle Spirits is just the card game. Was there anything
Battle Spirits had
they
like the original?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about the original.
I know they used like, obviously they had
used other
special Gundam cards and shit.
So like, I know in Baus, in our version Saga, they threw Gundam, they threw Evangelist. I can't say it.
Evangelion.
No, there you go. But like, I know the original, they had like a mixed variety of different IPs, because they had Digimon cards.
Yep.
In their Baus. Those were some cool cards looking. So I'm just surprised in that aspect. Am I surprised of like when it started 5 to 10 months in after like their events slowed down? No, because we saw what happened, right? The IP wasn't strong enough. No one really cared. There was no casual side to it. You had to be a sweaty player for it.
Very.
And if you were not, you were just not playing it.
Wait,
so
okay.
it's a very limited.
I'm sorry. Pause.
Very limited.
Did you say
yes?
Did you say casual?
So Mike, I wanna lead right into this. So we have talked on pod in the past about the strength of a casual player base for card games. And Battle Spirits Saga is the prime example of why a card game needs a casual player base, because that was a game that catered to only the competitive players, and it did it well, but not well enough to survive past year 3? Because I think this was year 3 for them. That game survived 2 years.
This would have been year 2 for them.
Okay, year 2.
It started. It came out April 2023.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So it didn't even make the 2-year mark. All right,
right.
And it had.
Oh, I guess wait.
Yeah, if it's April 2023, we're not even 2025, April 2025 yet. So it hasn't hit 2 years yet, and it's dead. And for as much money that was poured into, hey, you guys want to compete? And I remember that because I remember saying, yo, we can go win some money for playing card games. Count me in. Dan and Mike, or not Mike, but Dan, Mark, and I all tried. And I remember on the day that I quit Battle Spirits, Mark and I were registered to go to the Ohio Grand Open. And I called him and I was like, yo, Mark, I'm a be real with you, bro. I like this game, but I don't think I'll like this game enough to drive to fucking Ohio to try to make my money back. If we win, it's cool. But like, we had just wrapped up playing a long fucking best of 3 against these two sweaty, and when I say sweaty, I mean like you could tell what they were there for. Two sweaty guys who came out from somewhere a little bit more Midwest of us, so maybe like Harrisburg area or something, probably because they were trying to practice for the Grand Open as well. And I was playing those games, and I was playing Maduke at the time, which is like purple Soul Control. Mark also is playing purple, a slightly similar build but different. He was focusing on the whatever. I don't know. We don't have to get into that. We played our games. I was playing the one guy I played against. He was playing white control, and I think the other guy might have been playing like at white aggro. I don't remember. Either way, my game took so fucking long that by the end of my game, I looked at my other opponent and I was like, "You got the win," because I don't even give a fuck. That's how long that game took. I was so past it. I didn't have fun while I was sitting in that control slugfest. I didn't enjoy myself. And I called Mark afterwards. I said, "I'm not feeling it." And Mark was like, "Honestly, buddy, same." And that's the day that we quit Battle Spirits. Oh
yeah, I don't remember which, like, how far off that one was when I played in the like one locals we did. And I remember because I played white control too, just because my only dumbass reason was just because like, ooh, cool robots. I don't care what they do. Yeah. I'm playing them. Like, I was legit, and it was just like I got second place in that one event, and it was just like, oh, I don't really care too much.
Yeah, it's like
I would play it for fun, but like to play the game for like competitively, I was like, I don't care enough, especially like how I am. I just know how I am, and I'm just like, I ain't about this.
Yeah. And so
it felt too easy to play that deck and just win it out, and just, all right, I'm gonna sit here and watch you do nothing while I just go here and
you literally can't do anything, because you had Elk that was literally like, when it's rested, it's the only thing that can be attacked or some shit. And then once you put blockers, and
it's also
on board,
unaffected by like everything or something.
Right.
Like,
and it was just so stupid. And it's like, so, and we could talk about all the Battle Spirits problems in another video. I don't think I want to make that the focus for today. So if you guys want content, if you want to know like what our thoughts are on Battle Spirits, let me know. But Mike, what I'd like you to elaborate on is that casual aspect of it, because that's an argument that you've made many a times. You were talking about it in chat with Lance the other day, and I know Lance is, y'all know Lance. Lance is super vocal about how he doesn't think that casuals are a big part of the Digimon card game community. But let's be real, with the amount of, honestly, with the amount of shitposts that get posted, but also just the amount of people that are there in general, the amount of people who are actually playing Digimon because they love Digimon, but they're not playing competitively. The casual player base is driving a lot of Digimon sales. So I want you to elaborate on that. Let me know your thoughts and stuff.
Yeah. So I guess just get into it. Card games can't exist purely from a competitive standpoint. And it's hard to define what casual really means, because there's not really a good definition for it. In Digimon, right, I would be considered a casual player. I've read at this point, I'm like super duper casual, right? I don't even have locals to go to. But I don't think that my knowledge of the game or me buying products or anything limits how good I am at the game just because I play casually right now, right? And I think people need to get that out of their head and separate it completely from this conversation. Right? If you are just going to a locals every week, once a week, you go into locals, you're buying product from your LGS, you're playing with your friends at home, you're probably a casual player.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You are what's driving this game towards success, right? If you are playing every single day, practicing every single day, joining every single regional, joining every single Ultimate Cup, you're probably not a casual player, right?
You're a sweat.
But the thing with card games is you need that casual player base. Who's buying the boxes? So if you are a more experienced, I don't want to say experienced player, but if you're a more diehard player, like you don't have the time to just sit there, crack boxes, you're buying singles, right? You're like, I need this specific card from this deck. You're buying the single right off TCG player. You don't give a fuck. You're not wasting your time cracking packs, opening boxes. So,
and money also matters, because they're playing it because, I need to win. because if I win, I, get $500. But that doesn't matter if I spent $300, trying to get there, so to say.
Absolutely, yeah. So like, look at it this way. Like, I'll take a card like Ruin Mode. When Ruin Mode was super expensive, at its peak, I knew people that would rather buy a box and gamble more casually, right? Would rather buy a box and gamble than waste money trying to just buy a single of Ruin Mode. Because if they could buy a box and gamble and they get Ruin Mode, great. But they also got other cards that they might want to play in the future.
Yep.
I would never do that. I think buying boxes is stupid because I know exactly what deck I want to play. I know exactly how I'm going to play it. I know exactly the build I'm going to make. Not advocating one for the other, right? But in that aspect, I would deviate myself from a casual player base. But casuals, like they're the ones that go into these stores and buy packs. They're the ones that goes into these stores and buy boxes. Maybe you're doing that at your pre-release, right? Or maybe you think that I'm completely wrong. You're like, I don't ever see anyone casually buy Digimon boxes. Okay, you're wrong, right? Like, you just are. I don't know how to explain that to you. It's like the 1% rule in that aspect. Like, just because you don't see it happening doesn't mean that it is. Or like, let me elaborate on that further, right? The 1% of a group is always going to be the loudest. So you have these people posting in the Digimon 2020 groups that are really well known at this point, and they are always posting their opinions. That's the 1%. I would consider us as this podcast, as content creators, we're part of the 1%. We sit here every week and we give you our fucking opinions. Right or wrong, that's what we're doing. We are one of the loudest groups of people. We have people that just listen to us casually on their way to work. These people don't necessarily have to be going to events and going and competing. They just want to play card games with their fucking friends. That's casual. Battle Spirits did not have that at all. You couldn't even draw me into that shit.
It never catered to them either, which is such a big thing. Bad.
And even to go further, I don't think that Digimon has the greatest casual player base either. I think that we kind of alienate the casuals in a lot of ways. Compared to a game like, I'll use One Piece because
it is the perfect example.
It's a good Bandai game. It's another Bandai game, so it's a good example. One Piece, you have people. It even branches off further. One Piece, you have casual players. I play One Piece super casually with a lot of friends now. That's probably the game I play more now than Magic even, because I have so many friends that just started getting into it because they love One Piece and they were like, I want to learn this card game. So I play with them all the time. They're not going to go to these regionals. They're not going to go to these treasure cups. They're not going to go compete in fucking nationals. They just want to play card games and they like the IP. Then you have collectors in One Piece. That's something that Digimon doesn't have, and I don't know if we just missed the market for it, which is a shame because I really think we have some of the most beautiful cards in any TCG, and I really think that if collectors like took a hold on Digimon, they would really enjoy the polls.
There are
and like
people who are collectors, just not that many.
It's just not. Like, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like the market just isn't there for it really.
Yes.
Like I think the people that collect in Digimon probably also play the game. I mean, there's people, like what I mean is like people in One Piece, there's collectors that don't even play the game. They just like,
it's Pokemon, right? It's Pokemon Light in that regard.
And like then the third faction for like a One Piece is you have the very like sweaty people. I don't want to say sweaty because you don't have to be sweaty to compete at a higher level, right? You don't have to be a sweaty person to compete competitively. But you have that group. Battle Spirits, there were no collectors. The market for it was dead. I could have bought a case. I remember I've talked about it on the pod before. You could buy like a case of Battle Spirits for like $150, bro. Like I've joked about like, oh, let me just buy a case of Battle Spirits so that if I'm bored, I can open packs. Like that's how bad the market for that is. So boom, eliminates collectors.
And Mike,
completely.
why is the market bad for it?
Because there's no fucking casual base to buy cards.
Nobody's opening it. All the competitive players have opened everything that they need to. So
yep, and then they're just buying the singles if they want anything else. They have no reason to open more packs or boxes or anything.
And like you said, no collectors.
Yeah, no collectors. So there's no one buying boxes to push the market.
And so, okay, real quick before you go on, why are collectors such a big part of the ecosystem for card games as well?
Okay. So yeah, you're gonna have like shitty scalpers, like that sucks. But if you have people that are buying and opening boxes specifically to pull chase cards, that means they're dumping the commons, uncommons, rares, and super rares onto the market, which is really great for everyone else, because if a bunch of product is being opened, that probably means that the cards you need are going to be cheaper. And if product is more in demand, that means that the cards you're pulling might be worth more money, which is really great too. And also on top of all of that, if you have a really good market, like and you really have a good casual base, competitive base, and collector base, that means you're going to get more reprint sets, because the company that's printing these cards know that they're in demand. Oh, like I'm not saying that Bandai specifically looks at the secondary market to see what's hot or not. I doubt they actually do that.
No.
But
Nope.
They probably look at tournament results and go, oh, these cards are being played. Let's get a new art of this card, right? So let's take, for example, our LM sets. You know, like we get some really nice reprints in LM sets sometimes, right?
Yep.
But let's take it one step further. And let's go back to One Piece. One Piece gets these premium reprint booster boxes, which are fucking awesome. I think that that's what the standard for every reprint set for Digimon should be, is these great booster boxes that have phenomenal value in them, super played cards, like, you know, like not just throwaway cards. There are some throwaways in there because obviously you have to, but like staples. And so not only do they package all these reprints in, they give you the base art, then they give you alt arts, and they give you full arts, and they give you Jolly Roger rares. So they give you all these different ways to get this card, which means that the price of the base rarity goes down even further, which is great for casuals. But if you're a collector or someone playing competitively, you know you want that floss because, you know, you're not a bitch. So you're going to max out your deck and make it flossy as shit. And that's awesome. And again, for collectors, like, oh, I want this chase card now. And now they have something else to buy. Like, it's such a, like, saying that casuals don't matter in a card game is crazy to me, because it is really what is helping drive your player base. And again, I'm not just saying like people at home playing kitchen fucking card games have to be the casuals, but if you're showing up to locals once a week or once every other week or whatever, but you're not competing at higher levels, yeah, you're probably a casual. Or if you compete, let's say you compete at one regional a year, you're not really a competitive player, you know? You're not traveling for these events. You're probably playing more casually at that point. And again, it's hard to define what casual means because there is no set in stone thing, but that's what I would say, right? So these are the people that are driving your game.
Right.
And it's so good to have. And I think that is a huge issue why Battle Spirits died. It never grabbed anyone's attention casually. Because let's say, who is Battle Spirits' main demographic going to be? It's going to be me, Dan, Varney, the guy at your locals who keeps going 6-0 and playing that really annoying deck that no one can beat because he bought all those expensive cards. Now, then also ask yourself, is it good enough for him to quit playing the game that he loves to switch to? And if he does, then, you know, whatever. But they're not grabbing fucking little Johnny Bicycle who keeps going 0-5 with his, I don't know, give me a bad archetype.
Sakuyamon.
With his Sakuyamon deck. He keeps going 0-5 every locals with his Sakuyamon deck. That motherfucker, he is, no disrespect. I respect it completely. You're not dumping your money into another card game. Right? If
But
you
that's
are
a
just
full
playing casual,
fact. Yeah.
you're like, I'm not like, if I'm just like, I like Digimon, right? I'm not gonna like, I chose this game because I wanted to play it. I already spent, let's say you spend $100 on deck, sleeves, box, and that's the deck they want to play. You're not going out of your way to spend even more money now for another card game, more sleeves, more boxes, all this shit. It's just not happening. And even then, Bandai doesn't have the it's just not there yet in terms of a game like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Where Magic's
absolutely
biggest format is Commander. I have been playing Magic since I was a little kid. I didn't compete in any Magic events till I was a fucking adult. So that means for, I don't know, 12 years of my life, right? So from the time I was like, let's say I was 8 or something when I learned how to play Magic. 8 till I was 20 years old. The only Magic I had ever played was at lunch, at my home, at my kitchen table, at my friend's house, on the floor. Like, that's all these years where I was still buying product. I'm still contributing to WotC. I was contributing to the second. Honestly, I wasn't TCG player. I think it was Channel Fireball back then for me. So I'm still contributing to LGSs. I'm still buying product off the shelves. I'm doing all this shit, but I had never even stepped foot into a locals at this point in my life. You know?
Yeah.
Like Bandai's not there yet to have that grab, and there is also no casual format for people to latch onto. If you're playing Digimon, you're playing the same format as the guy that is going fucking 6-0.
Who's playing Mirage.
Exactly. There is no more forgiving format. Same with Battle Spirits. But Digimon can get away with that because
people love.
Frankly, people like Digimon, right? People grew up with Digimon.
Yeah. And it's clear that they don't make everything to be equal. Like, look at Digimon SR from BT11. BT11. Like, that card's good, but it's never really been good in a competitive setting. It saw one top in some deck here and there once or twice, and that's it. But I can tell you that, like, if we ever said, yo, let's play some fucking jank, my first thought is, all right, cool, how can I use Digimon? Like, how can I have so much fun with this one card or this one Digimon that I really like?
Absolutely. And you know, again, like, for the people that say like these casual Digimon players don't exist, like, you're probably the reason they don't come out and play at your store. If I'm being honest, like, when I moved to Winchester, I joined this group chat with, I don't know, maybe 15 people in it, and they all play super casually. I mean, legit tabletop Digimon. Like, how are you gonna tell me they don't exist? I've seen it with my own fucking eyes. I've played with these guys before the store got shut down for defrauding immigrants. I had met these guys. They're cool people, but they're not gonna spend extra money and play, you know, competitively like that. They just wanna make their fucking random jank decks work, which is, let's face it, like, that's all I've ever wanted out of Digimon was, I wanted to make this jank deck work, and then eventually it delves into like, oh shit, I just spent $2,000 fucking dollars on this alt art max rarity decks. I'm an asshole. Like, that's how it happened.
But because you love the game, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you wouldn't mind doing that for Digimon because you're like, I love this Digimon. I love these cards. I love the way the game plays. I don't care that this deck isn't going to make me any money. I just enjoy it. And I'll drop the $2,000 on it.
And another perspective to come in at it on, right? Battle Spirits is a game that was based purely on competitive play. We know that. But ask yourself this question. Did you immediately, right, when you started playing card games, did you immediately go, oh, I'm a competitive player? No, absolutely not. No one does that. If you do, you're like a sick fuck, bro. Like
let's look at how these players started. Yeah, most players started because they watched Yu-Gi-Oh on TV and said, oh my goodness, that's fun. I want to play it. They watched Pokemon and they saw it had a card game and said, oh, cool, I can play that. Or you were playing Magic with a bunch of fucking nerds back in 1999. And now you're not a nerd. You are, you know, one of the cool people because that's what we are, right? Back in, what are we in? We're 25. 25 years ago, we were still nerds, but 25 years ago, we were like basement nerds. And now we can be nerds out in the open.
I want you to know.
Y'all are extra nerds. Nah, it's not. You still nerds. You ain't no.
I used to play, like, speaking of basement nerds, I literally, when I was in college playing Yu-Gi-Oh with Dan, I had a separate friend group I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh with, and we were holding underground tournaments in his basement. That's not even a fucking joke. Literally underground tournaments in my fucking friend's basement when I was like 19 years old. Like, we are basement dwellers, but besides the point, Dan, continue.
No, that's all I was just saying.
But that's the fact of the situation. We, as card game players, the origins is from a place where, you're not competitive. And the only reason that card games are even competitive now is because at some point people realized that, like for Magic, Mike can speak on this, but they realized that certain cards that were printed back then that aren't being printed now are worth mad money, and that's where your what is it called again? Reserve list.
It's called the
shit?
reserve list.
Yeah.
So
That's where that shit came from. And
the
then
reserve list is get rid of the reserve list. I'm on that side of history.
For Pokemon, people were like, "Oh man, I remember when I had this Charizard," and even in 2000, let's say 7, you're just like, "Oh, whatever," because I don't know when that Charizard came up in price. But at some point, somebody was like, "Yo, you remember that Charizard from back in 1999? I've got one that's like in mint condition," and people were like, "Yo, where'd you get that from?" And now look, that Charizard is mad expensive. And that's why everybody collects Pokemon cards, because they think that something is going to be the next Charizard. And for what it's worth, I don't think anything, if you're a Pokemon player, let me know, but I don't think any card in Pokemon has even come close to that Charizard's price. And the only one that even has a chance of it is probably the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies.
I was literally going to say that the Umbreon VMAX
and the only reason that has a chance is because of the time that set was being printed. I think there was a report that somebody was stealing the cards off of the line, so they weren't being put into the sets or something. So it legitimately was short printed, and there just isn't much in circulation. Yeah, I think I could be wrong, but I think that's the story.
That card has increased in value so much just in 1 year. It's insane.
Yeah,
I think last year that was like a $500 card.
It was.
Now it's like a $2,000 card.
Mike, I'm not gonna hold you
if it's mint condition. Because
I wish I was a better card game. I wish I had better knowledge of card games for a longer period of time, because I think I had this at one point. I think I traded a bunch of my Digimon shit for one of these, because the guy wanted Digimon and I wanted nothing but money, but I couldn't get it, so I took this trade. And then I think I sold this, and now I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, I should have just fucking held on to it. Go ahead.
Yeah, to be fair, like,
but that's
Pokemon's so weird though.
Yeah, Pokemon is weird prices. I was gonna say that's why the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh didn't want tournaments be money based, and that's why they're never money based, and they're always cards or something stupid or whatever, because the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh said he wanted people to play competitively for like the love of the game or something, like, not because it's you win money or something like that.
And that makes sense. So honestly, there's nothing more that I love as a card game player, but then just being able to put it right back into the card game. That's just me personally. I know everybody's different.
And that's why Yu-Gi-Oh gets toaster ovens for prize.
Yeah, exactly.
That's foul, to be honest. Why don't they don't even get like reprints of cards? They don't even get like some sort of special serialized.
They used to get baller shit, bro. They used to get baller shit, like baller reprints of, or sometimes it was you could only get the card by winning.
Yeah, there was a time that you legit could only get this card by winning a tournament.
Like a promo card. Like something that was like unique.
It was the Dark Arm Dragon was an example.
Not even just promo cards, but like straight up cards you needed to play certain decks really well.
Minerva.
Minerva, perfect example. Who's the other fucker you could just take from your extra? You took from your extra deck or something. Oh man, you pay life points and just play from your extra deck. I can't fucking think of his name.
I wouldn't know.
Oh,
but like. That's me personally, like my ideal thing. What I like about Digimon is I like getting cards. I don't care. Like the cash pricing was cool. Like that did attract me to Battle Spirits. But the reality that it brought across with it was that if I was playing for money, other people are playing for money. And when money, like straight money is involved, that is a completely different mindset, a completely different topic, a completely different state of mind than if you're playing for something like in One Piece.
Cyberstein. Sorry, I had to look it up. I had to look up Cyberstein.
I forgot Cyberstein was a tournament.
It was a Shonen Jump Championship Series card.
Yeah.
You know how much money that card is worth now, bro? It's like I actually don't know how much it's worth.
$10K minimum.
I think 20 plus, bro.
Yeah.
That card's gotta be worth money now. But I mean, it's been reprinted now, but like, yeah, I mean, that was the only way you could get that card, and that card was fucking insane, bro. It was like you pay 5,000 life points, and then you special summon a fusion monster from your extra deck. Oh well, then it wasn't even called extra deck, then it was fusion deck.
Yeah.
Fucking. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just wild how that game has turned out.
Yeah. When it comes to Battle Spirits, and the reason that we're talking about this is, first of all, it's a Bandai card game, so it is Digimon adjacent. But it's even more Digimon adjacent because you've got some ignorant fucks, and I really am going to call you out because you're an ignorant fuck. You got some ignorant fucks in the comment talking about Digimon fans, prepare yourselves because this is what's coming next, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, how fucking stupid can you be? Like, we are nowhere near that point. We were never near that point. You can, all right, backtrack. I was talking to my boy Surakage. He's been playing card games for God knows how many years. He was like,
too long. Get a real
too
job.
long, right? Too long. He was like, I feel like I've played card games so long that I would be able to tell when a card game is dying. So I don't understand where all these claims that Digimon is dying is coming from. And that's the certified fucking truth. How many people are playing the Digimon card game that have played card games for years? Dan, how long you been playing card games for? About 15 years?
You forget,
Longer?
bro, Dan's old as fuck, bro. You gotta.
I wasn't trying to say all that, man.
At least 20 years.
At least 20 years.
I mean?
Which means Mike's been playing card games for at least 15 years. I've only been playing card games seriously in, the last like 4 or 5. So I rely on these two goofballs here. But like in that amount of time, because of these two, I feel like I've gained so much knowledge on card games, so much knowledge on everything, just everything in general, that I feel like I also could tell when a card game was dying. And I remember sitting here on podcasts talking about how Battle Spirits was dying probably about a year ago. But to be fair, everybody was. How can you put Battle Spirits in even remotely the same boat as Digimon? Digimon is a fucking ocean liner going across the ocean, while Battle Spirits is one of the lifeboats that fell off, and you don't remember that it fell off because it's nowhere near the conversation.
Oh, that's funny. That was a good one.
Like, and if Digimon is, an ocean liner, then, One Piece is just the whole fucking country. Like One Piece is obviously set. One Piece is set for who knows how long.
I mean, as someone that plays One Piece, it's doing phenomenally well right now. But I really do, like, at some point, I wonder, like, how many times can
you reprint Luffy? You just got another Luffy manga rare, and I'm like, Sanji doesn't even have one yet.
Well, not even that, but just like
I know in general,
keep giving us a Luffy leader, a Sanji, like all these.
I know that.
I think theirs is kind of limited, and that's why you see so many, because you can't just randomly create characters, unlike Digimon.
But that's what they did with Dragon Ball, though, right? They were just making up characters at one point, weren't they?
No, because it all came from this thing.
Heroes? That's different.
Dragon Ball Superheroes or whatever, which was like
at least those are based off of real characters. Most of them,
everything is canonical. Everything is canonical in some way to some piece of Dragon Ball.
There were some created characters for that, though.
Yeah.
For Dragon
Ball Heroes. Because Dragon Ball Heroes is like an arcade. It's like an arcade thing.
Yeah.
I think
they ain't gonna do that for One Piece. I don't think.
No, I don't even know if
they
illegally
can.
Never. Yeah, Oda would be like, "Oh, a what? You're doing a what?" No. But Mike, I'm with you there. I personally don't know how you can keep doing that either. Because at a certain point, I mean, Dragon Ball is the same shit. Like, sure, there's so many characters that you can explore, and there is still a lot of characters to explore in One Piece. But like, I don't know. It's that type of IP. It's not made for longevity. Oh my goodness, longevity. Holy shit! In my opinion,
longevity.
Longevity. There we go.
I got you, Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne. Words are hard. I'm dyslexic.
but yeah, I don't know. It's even so, like
it's a reference to Ghost Stories. If you've ever watched it, go watch Ghost Stories dubbed. It's amazing.
Just imagine a big black man is chasing me.
I didn't say all that.
Like, that's like my favorite scene from that shit. That's so fucking good. I fucking love that anime.
Go ahead, Mike, you're saying.
But yeah, so like as far as card games dying, I don't know. Well, I mean, Battle Spirits was like
it was clear. It's clear cut. You
I can't
see it
believe
from
Battle
1,000
Spirits
miles
even
away.
got as far as it did. But that's the thing. So Dragon Ball Super or whatever. What's the original Dragon Ball Masters? Is that what
it's now called Masters. Yeah.
Okay,
Dragon Ball
so
Super
they're still
Masters.
printing sets for Dragon Ball Masters. That game is basically dead. Though. Like that game is.
So like we, I'll comment on that real quick. We say that,
bro.
we say that, but they have more turnout than Battle Spirits had, which is
well. So it's like a slow burn, right? So
yes,
if they're gonna make, if a card game can make any amount of money, right? Like from Bandai's perspective, right? If they can make any amount of money from this, they're not gonna just stop the printing altogether.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a very slow feed. You're gonna get events less. You're gonna get sets less. You're gonna all this shit, right? Like, I mean, what is? I don't feel like looking up what Dragon Ball Masters set is on, but I think it's in the 20s.
They are
Digimon.
Their main set is in like, I think they're on like 28 now.
Exactly. What are we at in Digimon?
21. We're getting reveals for.
And that game came out
8
3
side
years
sets
before us or something.
So I made this point last week with Dan Vang, and he did say one thing we clarified is, yeah, they're on 28 main sets, but they have more. They don't have like EX sets like we do, but they do have more smaller side sets that bring in new cards. So if you were to bring it together in the same way that we have EX sets, they're probably somewhere akin to 35.
But
33.
even then, they were like 3-4. I don't know. Regardless,
but yes, your point stands. Yes,
you get things less. You get cards less. Stores carry product less. It's a very slow burn because they're not just gonna rug pull you until the card game is dead. I mean, Battle Spirits, they announced, hey, we're killing the game. They're still supporting it until 2026. They're still answering ruling questions. They're still going to send out tournament kits. They're blah 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 because they need to still make money off the game for at least a while.
Whatever residuals you can. Yeah,
exactly. So like Dragon Ball Masters, and again, I don't fucking even know people that play that game.
Well, so I'll tell you this. Masters has an insane collector scene.
I believe that.
I never knew how insane the collector scene was until like I joined all the Dragon Ball groups when I was heavy into it. And you could even see it now when you go on and you look at the price of cards. The God Rare from the latest set right now is listed for $2,300. A God Rare from Realm of the Gods, which is a set that was like a big power creep set for them. That's SSB Vegeta. That's still $1,500. They still
How much
have
is that one that you sold worth?
That one's less now. I sold mine when I pulled it. It was around $2,000, 18 to $2,000. I tried selling it for around 12, and I think I got maybe around 8 to 9. I think that's what I got for the Umbreon, actually, not Digimon. Now it's about $350. But to be fair, it was only a buck.
Their cards are fucking sick.
Oh my goodness, I love Dragon Ball.
I'm looking
cards.
at that SSB Gogeta Shining
the same one.
Strongest Warrior.
That's the latest
Ultimate
set.
Advent, blah blah blah. That card looks fucking nuts.
Bonkers.
That card looks insane.
If you ever get a chance to look at a God Rare in person, they have raised, like you can see it here, but the textures are raised. And if you run your finger across it, it feels so nice. The cards
it's like those
do it so well.
It's those Gundam. So if you guys haven't seen the LR cards for Gundam, I'm not even talking about the
If you haven't seen it, go check out the latest video on Main Phase TCG because I showed off all 3 of the LRs underneath my camera over there. And you can really see the texture and the foiling on the card really come to light. They are really beautiful.
Gorgeous cards. I'm not going to bother pulling my shit out then if you got a video.
Go check out Main Phase TCG.
No, I was just saying.
Will we pull it out on video?
Am I pulling my shit out? Yeah. Full Diddy though, for real. Yeah, so I think it's more of like a slow burn. Like I don't like people that are saying Digimon's dying now. Like sometimes I'll make jokes to Dan to piss him off about it. I don't think it's actually dying.
The conversations that we'd be having is so funny.
It
I
has
could
a
just
very
imagine
dedicated
Dan's
player
face.
base. I think Digimon's main issue, and I was going to talk about this on the pod, but we could say this for a different day. I want to talk about Digimon's main issue is how do you get new players to play the game? How do you get players, because it's a very dedicated fan base for Digimon. We all know that.
So,
but how do you bring in someone who's new to play the game?
So go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, I was just saying, like, 'cause personally, like, that is the, like, out of all these people that I play card games with and all of my friends that play card games, none of them have ever been like, oh, you should show me how to play Digimon. Like, they've all been like, oh, those are cool. Like, you know, like, it's never been like, oh, I would love to learn to play that game. I would love to do. I don't know how Bandai gets more people to play.
All right, so
I think that would be the only thing that could eventually kill the game off, is if the dedicated player base now stopped playing.
Yes.
I don't see it happening because it's, again, very dedicated.
So this is kind of the perfect place to talk about it, because in talking about Battle Spirits and another reason why it died, we brought something up earlier. We talked about where the origins of card game players came from. We were talking about Magic, which was just straight, basement dweller nerd game shit. And then we talked about Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! There was supposedly, I don't know how true it is, but supposedly there was a Battle Spirits anime in the works. It was supposed to come out in Japan. We may have gotten it dubbed over here. Who knows? But it was supposed to help promote the game in some way, shape, form, or fashion. If an anime was to come out, I'm not saying it would have saved Battle Spirits at all. It probably wouldn't have. But would it have been in a better place if there were more eyes on the Battle Spirits IP? Potentially. The biggest problem is that they didn't create anything to cater to the casual player base because everything was so sweaty. But let's look beyond that. Digimon's biggest problem is that Digimon is stuck in eternal development hell. We as Digimon fans are constantly dicked over in every facet of the imagination.
I feel like we're used as a guinea pig for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but
no,
it's like,
I agree with you.
I do think that they'll be like, hey, let's see how this tests with Digimon players before we let One Piece players have it or something.
Yeah. So it's like, for example, obviously One Piece has an anime going, but the anime is so big that you don't need to do anything else outside of ride on the coattails of as long as that anime goes. Digimon, we just got, Liberator. What was it? Maybe about, has it been a year yet? I don't think it's been a year yet, but it's.
No, it's been a year, but
it's coming up because we got the promos. Months? We got the promos last. Yeah. So I think it was like April because Seekers was finishing up around this time. So we're almost a year of Liberator being printed, which is cool.
April 25.
Cool. So yeah, 10 months into Liberator being printed, which is cool. But no, and I get it, but there's no physical printing, which sucks as, people who would enjoy collecting physical Digimon media.
I would love that shit. Because it was weird because they gave us that, I didn't even read it yet, but that Digimon manga for Bandai Card Game Fest. And I didn't read it yet.
It's so awesome.
I was surprised it wasn't just a Liberators in print form.
It's so many of the comics and they printed it out, and this is awesome. And I would love to have more Digimon media like this. And it's a shame that we don't.
I know this is probably a sin for me to even say this, but seeing that and talking about how we want Liberators in print form, if you guys have never read the Pokemon manga, Pokemon Adventure, oh my god, go read that shit. That shit's so fucking good. Fuck the anime. The manga is so good. I used to read that shit when I was a kid. Amazing. Phenomenal. Anyways, continue.
The reason I agree that Digimon does definitely have a problem of attracting new players, and I hope that after Gundam, Bandai learns to stop creating new games and focus on the games that they have, because we said this when they started UA, when they started Battle Spirits, and even to an extent when they started One Piece, because we said, why didn't you do this as part of UA? As a matter of fact, no, UA came out after One Piece, but we're like, if you're going to do One Piece, like, why not as part of UA? We can only play so many card games here in the West. I am excited for Gundam, as is both Mike and Dan. Well, realistically speaking, there's one game that we can focus our full attention on, which for Dan and I, it's Digimon. For Mike, it's probably One Piece because
whatever I'm allowed to play in person.
Exactly. And that is another big factor. The United States is so big, and I have to focus on the United States as a person who lives here. The United States is so big that you could legitimately live in a place that is highly densely populated, but it could not have a scene. Like, I live in a highly densely populated area, and my closest place to go play Grand Archive is about 50 minutes away. It's almost towards Reading. And if you know where that is, you know it's pretty decently far from me. Equivalently, if I wanted to play, well, Star Wars, you know, there's a lot more Star Wars fans across the entire United States, so I could play that almost anywhere if I wanted to.
You can apparently come play that at the only fucking card shop within a 5-mile radius of me.
Right. Elestrals is another good example. Dan and I like Elestrals, but outside of us starting a scene, if we wanted to play Elestrals, we would probably have to go out to New Jersey, I think, or maybe alternate universe, so towards Philly. And again, densely populated area with a lot of people who play card games, but not those card games. So they need to focus on retaining the players that they currently have in each of the card game niches and relying on the IPs to bring players into the game. I think the biggest issue is that you have and this is why I love Liberator, but there's such a green grass. And I know that, you know, I don't know what the relationship is in Japan, because I know Japan's legal system and the way stuff works is so much different than the US, but there is so much green grass in front of them when it comes to the Digimon IP. Because, I mean, shit, they did it for Liberator, Necromon. You just create shit out of thin air and boom, here's new archetypes. If we had an anime for Liberator, if we even had a piece of Digimon media that was animated, if we had something, and I know Mike will love this one, that let kids play the game.
Why'd you say it like that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry it came off in that way. It was defeated to your casual player argument. So if you took that in the wrong way, you can go see yourself out the door with a shotgun and do whatever needs to be done, because it wasn't meant in that way.
Well, why did you're like, Mike would love it if kids played this game. Why did you say like that, bro? What's up with that, man?
No, it's you know what brought us into card games as kids. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon.
Yeah.
My daughter.
I was thinking that too. Like, so if the Battle Spirits Saga, whatever, made an anime or whatever, I feel like it's such a weird thing, because if you're a kid, I would imagine it would probably be more directed towards adults, right? But if you're a kid and you see it, like, you're probably not even watching that anime at this point, because it's not playing on fucking, I don't even know. You're a dad, Varney. Do they have 4 kids anymore? What the fuck? How are kids supposed to be exposed to any of that shit?
Netflix. It would have to be on Netflix, really.
That's so crazy to me. Yeah. I just, because like when, you know, obviously Dan, me, you, we're all growing up. We're fucking watching Pokemon. We're watching Yu-Gi-Oh. We watch
We're watching whatever is available to us on the television stations.
Yeah,
we watch Duel Masters. Like, we watched all that shit growing up. Beyblade.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that's how Bakugan, like that's how I knew any of the shit was happening.
That's a good conversation. Beyblade is constantly getting rebooted, and not because it's bad or anything, just because like its story runs its course and then they release new stuff. But Takara Tomy, they know how Beyblade, for them, that's an evergreen franchise. They know how to keep making money off of Beyblade, because Beyblade X right now is the actual shit. They have so many collaborations that I'm like, whoa, okay, Beyblade. I don't even remember. There was one with like Hot Wheels. Well, granted, yes, I know Hot Wheels are Hasbro, but
there's a Hot Wheels Beyblade collab?
Let me see if I can find the collaborations, but there's a lot of them, bro.
I also think Beyblade randomly got like a resurgence in like America because of TikTok. I remember just seeing people trying and hosting Beyblade tournaments on like TikTok and shit.
But that's so big. Like,
yeah,
that's just one part of the pie. There's a Marvel collab. They have that. Probably it's a Hasbro license. There's a Transformers collab with Beyblade. So there's probably all Hasbro affiliated stuff, but taking advantage of what they have available to them. It's just like, it is crazy how much Beyblade is present for it being something that is only ever looked at on, like for us, we remember Beyblade, and then they rebooted it, and then there was a new generation of kids who remember Beyblade, And now there's another new generation of kids who are remembering Beyblade, and they might not even be watching the anime because Mike's right. They might just be watching shit on TikTok. They might see somebody with a video. That's all that it takes. And for Bandai, there isn't there. You know, what Bandai should be doing, which they're not, is like, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to, you know, bring awareness, and that's what I want like DGU to be, like that hotspot, that place for players to come and you're thinking about getting it. We talked about this last week when we were addressing comments. As content creators, one of our responsibilities, at least the way that I look at it, is to talk about the game, not always in a positive light, but we do it because we love the game. So we should be talking about this game in a way that encourages players to want to play this game. Because if we're not doing that, then why are we playing the game? But Bandai doesn't have anything that's doing that outside of, hey, these fucks over here, they like Digimon, so let's make some more sets for them, and let's see how far we can take it before they get upset. Perfect example. We talked about it last week too. Serial Omnis. Why the fuck did they take that away? They brought it to us. I'm sure so many people liked it. They ran out of Serial Omnis. They took it away from Store Champs. And now we get a whole new wave of regionals, and we have no serial cards except in the sets. Which, is that your replacement for serial cards? Because I hate it. Because One Piece, first of all, One Piece gets absolutely amazing looking cards for topping. Every place they get like a different art card. And I think that's for both Treasure Cup and regionals, if I'm not mistaken. And then they do have their serial cards, and they get uncut sheets. It looks so fun to play One Piece, just because it's like,
bro, how cool would an uncut sheet be for Digimon, man?
That's what I'm saying.
I wish we got that shit, bro.
If
I think uncut sheets are sick, dude.
Cross AI just sold his uncut sheet, but he was debating on selling it, and I'm sure he probably got like 15 grand minimum for it. But I'm like, if I ever won an uncut sheet as a champion, that shit's going up on my wall. That's immortalized, bro. That's insane. Especially if it's for a set that I like. Oh, that's why he sold it, because it didn't have his favorite characters on it, which is fair. Like if I got an uncut sheet for something like BT13, oh my lord, with all the different Royal Knight arts, or if there was an uncut sheet for EX6 with all the Demon Lord stuff and the Angels, come on, man. So it's like, that's the story. Mike is right. If Digimon doesn't do anything to bring new players in, what is going to happen to the game? And that will be where we start talking about Digimon is dying. But right now we're good. And we can only hope that, and I've said it in the past and I'll say it again, I'll reiterate it here. 2025 is the year of Digimon, because if Bandai doesn't do things that inspires players of the game currently to keep playing the game, those players will leave. And I can say that with confidence. I will resort to playing this game on a casual level, because I will definitely focus on Gundam, because I love Gundam almost as much as I love Digimon. So, you know, and Gundam
fucks.
Gundam is the perfect example of like how an IP can drive players to play a card game. I remember, Mike, when we were in the what's it called? What's Bandai's Gunpla shop called? Gundam Base. There we go.
Gundam Base?
When we were in Gundam Base, I know somebody was talking about how like, oh, you know, they could just stick promos in the boxes and they would sell it. And I remember some employee came over, they were like, no, they'll never do that. I think you got me fucked up if you don't think that Bandai will ever try to take advantage of the fact that their Gunplas sell at such hotcake levels that they'll just print, even if it's a vanilla promo, to throw in the box and say, here's a Gundam card game promo card.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Used to put, they probably still do. I haven't played in a while.
I remember.
Put the promos.
They used to put promos
magazines.
in the manga and the magazines.
Yeah, and Shonen Jump. Yep.
Bro.
Yep.
Bro.
And you get it, you'd be like, oh my goodness, this is so cool.
What was the Xyz stand? Fuck. What was the Xyz? It was 2500. Basically get doubled its power when it attacked if you detach material.
Oh, lightning. Utopia Lightning.
Utopia. Yeah. Bro. Yeah. Fucking shonen only.
I remember showing I don't remember what like the old ones were, but I remember telling my mom, I was like, hey, we need to like do the subscription so I could get like all these cards and then magazine that comes like monthly. I got the Stratos. I got the OG Stratos because the
Elemental Hero
first Stratos.
Stratos. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Cyber Eltonin was a big Cyber Dragon type card that was kind of needed, but was like crazy because that was like a complete board wipe, and that was like one of the first OG cards that said send, not destroy.
Yes, keywords.
That's how you got the Egyptian god cards.
Oh yeah.
At that time, yeah. There was a lot of different ways. It was super cool to have those.
And that
I have so many Shonen Jump magazines. I used to love reading those back in the day.
Yeah, it was the bomb, bro.
I think people are
like
insane.
A bunch of magazines of different manga, so you could pick and choose. Like they would have like Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe One Piece at that time. Naruto was in them.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
They had a lot of them. It was really cool.
So people are just insane to think that Bandai won't take advantage of any opportunity they have to promote Gundam, especially doing it the right way. Look at Gundam Assemble. That's a tabletop game coming out. That's a game
right on buying that shit too.
Made for like the realest of basement dwelling nerds like us who are like, oh my goodness, play Warhammer and stuff. And that's a collaboration coming out that's going to have both the tabletop stuff and the Gundam card game cards. They're definitely going to take advantage of that. They don't have anything like that for Digimon. They don't have Digimon toys in store. Even Gundam has toys in store. They have both the model kits as well as the figures that they license out to whoever to make. So even though Gundam isn't this big thing that kids watch, you could still walk into the store and pick stuff up. But what can you do for Digimon? Nothing. There are no toy rights for Digimon in stores. You could probably pick up Luffy shit in stores faster than you could pick up Digimon stuff, you know? And that's the issue. I agree. That would be the death of the Digimon card.
But that includes like them not having a consistent anime.
Yes,
that would be a reason to make toys.
Yes,
Liberate is a good start because Liberate is doing really well for the webcomic apps or whatever because they were like top 5, top 3, whatever it was for the year and stuff. And they need to just continue capitalizing. Like clearly, there's a market for Digimon. They can make, we're craving for stuff like anime, games, something.
And that's just us, the adults. If there was a way to get children to play and enjoy, if my daughter,
that does
she recognizes, Pikachu and Charmander and all the other Digimon or whatever, or sorry, Pokemon or whatever.
Pokemon?
But imagine if there was a Digimon anime that was, targeted towards children that she liked, and she was like, oh my goodness, look, it's Agumon, or look, it's Palmon. Oh, I want a Palmon or something, anything like that. And then I then have a reason to bring my daughter to the card shop and play Digimon. That isn't just me trying to force Digimon upon my daughter. We don't have that. And it's unfortunate because those are the kinds of things that we need in this card. So that's the DGU take, because DGU said so. If you're a wrestling fan, you get that reference. If you're not.
So you saying Mike wouldn't get it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forget Mike doesn't get it. I'm not even going to explain it. He doesn't deserve it. Parting words?
Casuals are good people. Be nice to them.
That is true. Anything from you, Dan?
Dan's locked in, bro. It's Luka Doncic's fucking debut game right now. You can't fucking ask him questions like this, bro. I know damn well that's what Dan's been doing right now. He ain't been talking much. He been watching Luka. Like, you don't even gotta say shit. Look at that space. I know it.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. This man's been cooking.
All I'll say is
like 40 points in the first quarter.
All I'll say is the Mavs made a goof, but Dan thinks otherwise. Anyways, my parting words are: it's okay to collect and play a dead card game. Don't let the death of battle spirits stray you away from playing it if you so choose, because guaranteed you can get that shit cheap AF. You can play any deck you want, baby. And honestly, at a certain point, there's nothing better than being able to play what you want for very little money involved.
Dirt cheap.
It sucks to the players who were invested in the game since day one, but games do find new life after death. So that's all I have to say.
I could get my return funds on that. Damn, I spent like at least $100 in that game.
Oh,
No, we all bought.
$100. This guy.
Woe
We all
is
bought like
100
boxes. Was it 1, 2, 3 boxes maybe?
I don't know, but woe is you for $100.
Yeah, I could use that $100 right now.
What would you? You know, I'm
Probably like
not,
160.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a question. That is it for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast. So until we talk to you guys the next time, peace out.
Catch you on the next one.
Peace.